Hello everyone, I am here with another seed haul for you today, and I think this is actually all the seeds that I've purchased at least so far for next year. Again, my garden isn't very large. I have 2 decks that are 18 by 19 square feet. There's a lot of plants that I already get as starts, so there's not like a ton of space for me to grow a lot of things from seed, but I still have some fun stuff that I'm going to be growing this year, and I'm really excited about this haul because this haul is all about native plants, at least native for in Chicago. So here's what happened last year. As I've been taking my horticulture classes and just learning more about gardening, I definitely had a mindset shift from gardening for me and what I like to gardening for the pollinators and nature and what works best for the ecosystem. It doesn't mean I'm growing only things that are great for pollinators, but I am finding more of a balance and shifting more towards what will help support them. And a lot of that is natives. So what I tried to do this year is dedicate one of my raised beds on the front deck to all native plants. So I went online and I searched for native flowers for the Midwest. And what came up was a Midwest wildflower mix. So I purchased it, assuming that if something was called Midwest Wildflower Mix, it would be a mix of seeds of wildflowers native to the Midwest. That was not at all true. And had I actually read like the list of the seeds that were in the seed pack, because that did have that list on the website, I would have realized very quickly that they were not Midwest native. So what it basically ended up being was wildflowers that you can grow in the Midwest. So I felt very silly because I thought, well, I'm sure I'm like the only person who's ever made this mistake. And then I saw a reel just a few months ago from someone on Instagram kind of explaining this concept and how, the marketing of these seeds is leading to a lot of confusion. And from that reel, I found the website Prairie Moon, which sells seeds. And the best thing about it is that you can search for your specific area and then it will give you all of the seeds that are native to your area. So you don't even really have to know what's native. You just search for your area. It'll show you everything that's listed there. And what I really like is that you can even get more specific in the filter. So you can do like wildflowers, which is what I did, shrubs, grasses, because they do sell plants too, not just seeds. They do sun exposure. They do soil moisture. So there's a lot of filters. Oh, and bloom time and bloom color. There are so many filters here. I would highly, highly recommend checking out this site. I don't think I've seen a site as well organized as this one is for seeds. Now, what I think I put in was just our area and full sun because that's what I have up here. And I ordered a bunch of flowers. So I'm going to go through today with you what I ordered. But again, remember, this is going to be native for me. And I know a lot of people watching are from the same area, but if you're not, just know that you can still go to this website and put in all the filters specific to your area and get the natives in return. But some of these I'm sure might be native in your area as well. So I'm going to go through these, and I will say on the front deck, I love a lot of color, and I don't know why, but I was nervous that there wouldn't be a wide variety of colors of native seeds. That makes absolutely no sense now that I was looking through it, because obviously there are a lot of different plants that are native to this area. So I'm going to go through everything that I got. I think most of the seed packets were $3, which seemed to be a little bit cheaper compared to some of the other sites that I shop on. So the first one that I got is, and let's do both the Latin and the common name so that I can again practice, even though I don't think any of these are from school, is Allium stellatum, or Prairie Onion. And I know a lot of alliums are native to this area. So these are going to have like a really light purple bloom on them, which I am excited about because I love purples and pinks and oranges, but it's going to be very, very light. Ooh, and since it is going to be more on the pastel side, maybe I'll actually have them more in the back deck. So going back to my original plan of just one bed for natives, I do want to do that all in that one bed, but I also want to mix the natives throughout my garden as well, because I feel like the more, the merrier. So the Prairie Onion, it says it'll get to about 14 inches tall. So these will be short stature, probably in the front of raised beds, and they bloom July or August. Plant spacing 4 to 8 inches. So it is a relatively shorter plant. I don't know if I'm going to start these plants inside or from seed, because what I'd like to do in the wildflower bed, the non-native wildflower bed, is I just kind of scattered them, some in the fall, some in the spring, and just kind of let them do their thing. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do that this time or if I'm going to plan a little better, which I think with the varying heights, it might make more sense to start these either inside or like sow them in the spot where I want them to grow. I don't know, we'll see. I have a few months to decide before I need to start getting these planted. Next up is a Morpha Kinescence. I don't know if it's lead or lead plant. Let me know down below. But these are very, very pretty flowers. They're like blue, but also purple, but also some red, with also a little bit of yellow. I mean, the main color is kind of like a bluish purple, but these just looked incredibly interesting. And I don't actually know if any of the plants that I have in this order I've grown before. I'll have to double check. I don't think so. So they're all going to be new to me. But these say that the bloom color is purple, full to partial sun, height 3 feet. So these will get tall. So these will probably be, well, I think they look really pretty in the back of the raised bed, but I also think they would look really pretty in pots on the ground and then just growing to their 3-foot height. So I'm excited about those too. This next one is going to be a doozy to try to say. So this is Amsonia. That's the easy part. Tabernaemontana. Close enough. Eastern Blue Star. So this is a really pretty pale blue flower, which I'm really excited about. Again, maybe because this one's pastel, I might put it back here too. This one can also get 3 feet tall. It'll bloom April, May, and June. So this is on the earlier side. So that is exciting. So yeah, what I definitely need to do, and I'll put out another video on this once I get everything organized, especially for these that I'm not as familiar with. I need to go through and see when the best time of year is to sow them, because if any need to be sown in the fall, I'm just going to do that directly in the bed. But also when I want to start some of these, if they are plants that are supposed to bloom in early April, I obviously won't be starting them inside in April. So once I get all that organized, I will go through that with you. That's something I like to do as the garden kind of settles down. But yeah, I'm just excited to learn about these. And a lot of these are perennial too. So my plan with the wildflower bed was always to just be able to leave it, like plant what's in there, let it go, not have to worry about it. So once these are in there, I'm hoping that I never have to replant anything and that they'll all self-seed or come back every year. So we'll see how that goes. But that also means I need to get everything out of that bed now. Next two, I'm very excited about. I have Asclepius incarnata, rose milkweed. So I definitely want to get more milkweed in the garden. I think I sowed some seeds in that wildflower bed. Is there milkweed in there now? I'd have to go back and check. But it definitely got overtaken by all of the other seeds that were in there. But with rose milkweed, this is going to have really pretty, well, rose pink colored blooms. This will get up to about 4 feet tall. Maybe that'll be better back here too, in like a lower pot on the ground, because 4 feet might just be a little bit too tall for the tallest of the raised beds in my garden. These will bloom June through August. So definitely looking forward to that one. And then I have a second milkweed, which is just common milkweed, or I'm sorry, Latin name, Asclepius Tuberosa. I am so sorry for however I'm pronouncing these. But I know that common milkweed is obviously like the best one for the monarchs, even though all of them I do think support the monarchs, or most of them, but common milkweed is the one that's been recommended like through my horticulture classes to add to the garden. I also just think these look really pretty. Like I think the round heads of the flowers are so unique looking. Every time we go, there's a little like nature preserve area that there's a path that we walk around, and the milkweed blooms are always what stands out to me amongst everything else. So I'm excited to have these. These are 3 feet. They'll bloom from June to August. And they're also pink, but they are, I'd say, more of like a lightish purpley pink compared to the rose, where it's a little bit more of that deeper rose pink. Then I have this word that I still can't say, Asclepius Tuberosa, or butterfly weed. And this one is orange. So, I mean, so far I have purple, I have blue, pink, and orange just from all of these native flowers. So this one too is obviously going to be very beneficial to the butterflies. This one says about 2 feet tall, June through August, same bloom time. So this will, I think, definitely be on the front deck with those brighter colors. That will just fit in really well up there. And 2 feet is a pretty good size for keeping it in one of my tallest raised beds. Next up is Baptizia Australis, which is the blue wild indigo. And this one, at least in the photos, looks like that really pretty, like royal blue, true blue color. And that's something I've never really had in the garden until this year. And I have that with both the salvia and the floss flower. And I love it. I think it's something that's a bit harder to find. Definitely I feel like pale blue is a bit more common, but this true blue is just so pretty. So I'm excited to have this in the garden. This one will get up to about 4 feet tall, and it blooms from May through July. So again, because it's a bit taller, I might put it in a pot on the ground, we'll see. And I'm hoping to, like the raised beds thing should be fine to come back. I'm hoping with the perennials in pots, those will survive out here over winter. I like to go to zone 3, potentially 4 on the edge, since I am zone 6A if I'm going to leave it outside in a pot to overwinter. So hopefully these do well. But I do find when you're growing plants that are native to your area, it seems like it's much harder to kill them than plants that are not native to your area. So that should work out well. So next on my list is my Biden's Coronado, or tall swamp marigold. This is my hit of yellow in the garden. These are like a very delicate looking yellow flower, pretty small. They're probably about an inch, I would say, in diameter, but these look really pretty and wild and free, and I'm excited to have these. I mean, I have Biden's right now in the garden. Nope, not anymore. I pulled them. The campfire marshmallow, so they were white petals. These are yellow petals with yellow centers, 4 feet tall. They will bloom from August to October. So that'll be great to have things that are still blooming now and a month from now in the garden. So very excited about that. And then my last one is Phlox divaricata, wild blue phlox. And this is again that kind of other hit of a blue. It's not true blue. It's more like a periwinkle, which I don't know if when you were younger your favorite colors kind of changed, but this was my favorite color for a good chunk of my childhood. So this is wild blue phlox. This is also a partial sun shade plant, so maybe I can add this to the parkway too. It's only 12 inches tall, and it'll bloom from April to June. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to put this, and then what was the other one? Was it the rue anemone? I think I'm going to add those to the parkway, but also have them up here too. Because the parkway, I want more flowers down there, but I don't see that as much as my garden up here, because I am up here every day and every evening. So I want to experience the plants up here and not just downstairs, but I think those will work really well in my parkway. And that is everything on the list, but I would definitely check out this website, especially if you're looking for natives. Like I said, I've never found anything that's as well organized as this site, so that is very exciting, and I cannot wait to get these into my garden and just to notice the difference, if I do see any, between maintenance with plants that are native to my area, with how the pollinators interact with them, with which ones have more pollinators on them, and just see how it does in my garden. I'm really excited. I'm glad that I'm getting more natives here. Let me know if you've ever shopped here. Definitely check it out. I did notice as I was going through to read some of the details, because I was looking at the cart of what I ordered, that some of them do say out of stock already. So I would shop sooner rather than later. And yeah, if you grow any natives, let me know how they're doing for you. Let me know if your mindset has kind of shifted more towards natives over time. Again, I still have a ton of non-natives, and pollinators do still like them too, but it's just nice to start incorporating more of these into the garden. So that's going to be everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.